Rabbi say, one who is bald, does he have to put tefillin? He doesn't have any hair. He's bald. He's losing his hair. Does he have to put tefillin? What's the shaila, right? You think if it was so pashut I would ask it? Rabbeinu Rambam, Ilchos Tumas Tzaras, Perek Ches, Halacha Aleph, and again, Perek Tetzayin, Halacha Yud. Look how he defines Tzaras. Nefilas Ktsas Seyar, if you're losing your hair, a little. Or Hazakan, you're losing your hair or the beard. Karui Tzaras. That is called Tzaras. So if one loses his hair, L'choira, he can't put on tefillin. We just said before, Allah meforesh Shulchan Aruch, Metzora is not allowed to put on tefillin. The Mikdash David asks, if that's the case, and the Rambam is right, how come in the Mishnah in Bechoros, Daf Mem Gimel Amud Aleph, the Mishnah says that a person who's bald is disqualified la'avoida because that's the blemish. What do you have to say it's a blemish? Because it's tzaras, and it's tzaras anyways, you're not allowed to serve in Beis HaMikdash. It doesn't mean that he really was bald. Shinana, many times we find, in other places, Shinana. Shinana sounds like one who has big teeth, but what does that mean, big teeth? Maybe he's a little bigger than other people. Kereach, well, compared to other people, not that 100% kereach. Ale kereach. But what does that mean? Maybe it was more kereach than them. They're young kids, they still have their hair on. So the Midrash David asks about the Mishnah Bechoros. He was asked, how is it that we do see sometimes both people in shul that they put on tefillin? It's a problem. According to the Shita of the Rambam, that if you're losing your hair or you don't have any, and the Rambam also writes that tzaras is noyeg in chutz la'aretz. So no matter where you are in chutz la'aretz, if you don't have hair, seemingly you can't put on tefillin. So the one who asked the question to the Fakasta De'anya wants to answer, and he says, you know why? Maybe because tzaras, whether you're Torah or not, is dependent on the kohen. And today, all we have is kohanei chazaka. We don't have bona fide kohen. So maybe because we don't have a kohen to say that you are for sure tamet tzaras, mimele, they can continue to put on tefillin. That's what he wanted to suggest to the Afakasta De'anya. But the Afakasta De'anya says to him, I see your question, and I see your answer, but your whole question is wrong. What propelled you to ask the question is that you saw in the Rambam that the Rambam says that if you're losing some of your hair, you're considered a Metzora. Says the Afakasta De'anya, wait a second, you got too far with it. You're saying like this, you said a Kal V'chomer. If you're losing some of your hair, so you're considered Metzora. So if you lost all your hair, for sure you're Metzora. That's incorrect. Because you have to have a shear. The shear is Kegris Ve'yoisel, let's say a shekel or 2 shekel size of a coin, has to be surrounded with hairs all over, a discoloration of the skin. You have to have some yellowish tone to it. Maybe if you don't have that, you're not a Metzora. You're bald. You don't have any hair. Many people will experience that throughout their life. I know some of them personally. But you're not considered a kereach, and therefore you're not considered a Metzora, and therefore your question doesn't even start. B'shalosh Tshuvos Mishneh Halachos, Chelek Yud Aleph Perek Lamed says, from the fact that the Shulchan Aruch writes this, that means it's noyek today. Mishnah Shulchan Aruch doesn't write halachos lemeshicha. That's Aruch HaShulchan. He wrote Aruch HaShulchan HaAsid, and the Rambam speaks about everything. But Shulchan Aruch wrote those halachos that pertain to today. So what are you running about bris milah? What are you running about tefillin? Mimele, he proves from here that tzaras is noyeg today.